Hey everybody, today we're going to look at something that can take your comping and chord soloing to the next level. With just one shape, we can play so many different chords. The key to all this is the interval of the fourth. Let's talk about it right now. So what are chordal voicings? Well, to understand chordal voicings, we need to understand how normal voicings are built. This C major 7 voicing, for example, is built in major thirds, which means that every note is 3 steps away from each other. Now, the thing about chords that are built in thirds is you can clearly see what the chord is. There's no question whether it's major or minor, it tells you. Now when you start building chords in fourths, that's where things get a little interesting. What happens when you build a chord in fourths instead of thirds is that the quality of it becomes ambiguous. We no longer have a defined third and seventh in our chord, instead we just have a group of notes. What makes this group of notes into a chord is what the bass player plays underneath it, or what the bass note is. So for example, if we built a chordal voicing in the key of C off the note D, we would have this group of notes: D, G, C, and F. By itself, it's just a group of notes, but as soon as we put a B flat in the bass, it becomes a B flat major 6/9 chord. So now that you know a little bit about chordal shapes, let's talk a bit about how to get some more shapes under our belts, as well as how to apply them. To get some chordal voicings, we first need to take a shape and run it through a key or a mode. So for this lesson, let's use the key of C. First, you start on the root, and then you build your voicing up in fourths. So we have C, F, B, and E. Now we have our bass shape. Next, take each note of this voicing and move it to the next note in the key. Repeat this process until you come back to the original shape that you started with. Make sure to do this on each string set. Some of these shapes work better than others, meaning that if you put bass notes under them, you'll get more chord options out of it. Now, let's take these and put it into a simple 2-5-1 progression. To use this in a 2-5-1 progression, you'll need to find the shapes that work with each bass note. Here are the ones that I like to use for the 2 as well as the 1 chord. Now for the 5 chord, we need to have some tension. The 2 modes that we usually use to play over the dominant chord of a key are either the altered mode, which is the melodic minor off the flat 9, or the Lydian dominant mode, which is the melodic minor played off the 5th of the dominant chord. For this example, let's use the altered scale. So what we do now is we repeat the process we did before and find all the shapes in that mode. Here are the ones that I particularly like to use over the 5 chord. So now we have shapes for every chord of our 2-5-1 progression. Here are some examples of some chordal comping lines using the shapes that we just learned. Now that you know the basic process about how to find chordal voicings and also how to use them, try to apply them in as many different contexts as you can. You could use them for chord melodies. You could use them for chord soloing. You could use them for comping. I found that they're always nice to add to our normal voicings, to just put a little something different in there that helps not only the people playing with you to keep it more interesting, but keeps the listener interested as well. Lastly, there are tons of other ways that we can use quartal voicings. Today we talked about just how to use them in place of our functional shapes. If you'd like to see other videos about how to use Quartel Harmony, make sure to leave a comment below. I want to end this video with a small comping etude demonstrating the ideas that we talked about today. Let's use the A section of the great tune Have You Met Miss Jones to demonstrate. I'll be playing it in the key of C since that was the main key that we focused on in today's lesson. Thanks so much for watching this video about Quartel Harmony. If you like what you see, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It not only helps me out, but lets you guys keep watching videos and keeps videos coming for you in the future. Thanks again, and remember to always keep swinging.